One of the things we need to add to the list is propane bottles. Now these propane bottles were certified in 1997. In this episode of In the Shop, we go ahead and upgrade the propane tanks for the slide-in camper. Well, good morning from Northwest Tennessee. Another cool morning out here. Beautiful day, but it's supposed to be up in the 70s, but it's only about 48 right now, so it's a little chilly. We're back to working on the slide-in camper, the truck camper. And we discovered, well, we knew the tanks were old and probably have to be recertified, but we found out that we really can't use them anymore. Let me show you what we're talking about. All right, here's two type tanks. This is the tank that was in, there's two of these tanks in the camper. And they're horizontal tanks, which means they have to be filled vertically, but they have to be used in a horizontal position like this. That's no problem. The big problem is they need to be recertified because the last time they were certified was like 1997 when they were made. That is no problem. The problem is this connection. Nobody will fill these anymore. We couldn't find anybody around here that'd even look at it because they didn't want to mess with it because it doesn't have the correct connection. So what we ended up doing was buying two of these brand new horizontal tanks. Again, they had to be filled in the vertical position like that. They're 20 gallons, but they have to be used in the horizontal, which means that's going to be a little rough. We have to pull them out, fill them, and put them back in one at a time. It's going to be a little rough, but hey, that's the way it is. But this new type has the new type connectors, which are like this, which go on there. Now, since we're going to replace both tanks, it just seemed stupid to not replace the regulator too. And of course, this regulator now comes with the correct connections also. So we're going to go ahead and put this on today. We won't put the tanks in today. We'll have to get them filled and then we'll put them back in. But we're going to get this on and we're going to take a tank from our barbecue and hook it up and make sure we don't have any leaks. And then once we get these tanks filled next week and put them in, we'll check it for leaks again. And then if nothing's leaking, we'll go ahead and hook them up and check everything out, make sure the fridge works on propane, and everything that works on propane, make sure it does. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start off by putting in this regulator. So let's go out to the camper. It's a little dark in there, but I hope you can see it. But before we start this little project here, I wanted to show you something. I know that you're not supposed to leave these on the jacks for very long. So what I did was I went into town, some friends of mine that own a tractor supply place, and they had this crate there with a like a 60-inch mower deck inside of it. So they took that out without busting it up too bad. And I brought it home. And what I did was put these runners on the front of it so I could push it around. And then I stacked some, I screwed everything down to make sure it was, the nails weren't going to pop out or nothing. And with screws, I put these two boards here, a board there, and a board back there, and left the one there. And then I put a piece of plywood, I think it was like 1/2-inch plywood on top of it. And then screwed that down, and then I put some rubber pads. And you'll notice that it's a little bit higher in the front than it is in the back, because you want that. You don't want this part being lower or on as even as the back, otherwise you could fall over frontwards. So I took my lawnmower, pushed it out of the garage, or the big shop, pushed it up here, and pushed it right up underneath and dropped her down on it. And it's as solid as can be. I still have the jacks down a little bit. They're kind of just touching the ground, just to give it a little support in case that, you know, settles or something like that. But I thought it came out pretty good. All I got to do is pull the lawnmower up to it, strap it to the front, and jerk it out after, you know, of course, after you pick it up a little bit, and we'll be ready to go. And one of the things I've added to it, I'm not done with this yet, is put this rubber flap on the front. Now when this is on the truck, the bed of the truck sits right up in here. So that will help any water that would come down here. It'll help it wash off. I'm going to put a few more in it, like every other space like that, just to make sure, you know, because this is pop riveted into rubber. Now I have, you know, like washers on the back to help hold it on, but I think the more I have in it, the better it's going to be, especially down on that end. And then I need to put one little piece of metal back here and pop rivet this together so it sticks together. But other than that, it came out pretty good. So, you know, we're making progress, and can't wait to get it on the truck again and head off to Alaska, but that's going to be a while. When we're getting ready to start this teardown, first we got to take all this out. We're going to start by taking this plate off of there so we can get this hose off. Plus, I think we have to put this plate on the other one. It's going to work out better. So. Okay, we got that plate off. Now we can get to it with a wrench and see if we can get this off. It's been on there a while. It doesn't want to give up the ghost. Well, let's see if we can take it off the other end. Get off the other end, we'll take it. Okay, so here we go. I think we got it now. Yep, got it loose. Okay, we got that off. And I think what we're going to do now is take it back down to the shop and work on it from there. And that way we can get it all set up, just bring it out here and strap it back on. Okay, so let's go to the shop. Okay, we're going to take the old one apart now. First we got to get this off. Oh, I pre-loosened it. Take that off. That's that hose we got to keep. We got to use that one. And now we got to see if we can get this one off. This is the adapter, and just need an English fit all. Yep. We're going to need devices, I would imagine. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing off of here. Yep, there we go. Just need to hold it tight. We don't need any parts off of this, so we can use that for something else or throw it away or whatever. Now you do notice that this had a little bit of pipe dope on it because it's not a compression like this side is. So these won't need anything on them. We just have to check to make sure they don't leak. We'll clean this up a little bit before we put it on a new one and put a little pipe dope on there and make sure that's working. So now we start putting it together. Okay, we're going to start off by putting our adapter in there. First we're going to put a little bit of pipe dope on this one because it has to be sealed. It's not like the other ones that we have, so we don't want to put a lot on here, just put a little bit. Screw that in. Make sure it points to the back because this is going to be the front. Actually, it's going to be like that. So we want to make sure we get that in there just in the right spot. Okay, we've got to take this plate off. Okay, so in the process of putting these tanks in there, trying to get them all to fit, there's bolts that stick up through here and here. This one's still there. These were loose, and I thought, I wonder if they go all the way through. Gee, imagine that they do. And so we're going to knock those two out. We're going to fill that up with die-cord stuff. And we have some nice big washers that we're going to stick on there so it doesn't dig into it again. So another fix before we fix this. There we go. Well, we finally come to the conclusion that we're going to have to Frankenstein this a little bit. We're going to mount this here, and then that way it's back far enough that the door will close. Now obviously there's no way to get this to hook up into here, so what we're going to do is replace this with a elbow. Okay. Oop, now bee on my head. Sunglasses. Anyway, let's get back to it. We're going to replace this with an elbow, and then that way what we're going to do is that will go into that elbow right there. See, the whole exercise of this is you have to take this off while it's still connected to this, and then take this out before you can get the tanks out. So what we're going to do on this side is just get one that's 2 foot longer with another elbow right here, and that will bring that down to that, and you can leave that hooked up. Then when you remove the tanks, you remove this. It'll stay attached to here where the elbow is. You remove this one, which will also stay attached on this side where that elbow is. Sorry about the jerky camera work. Then you can take this out, because you have to take this out to get these out. So that's where we sit. So we have to get a couple elbows for this, get a longer hose. Don't know where we're going to get that. I guess we have to order on your friend and mine, Amazon. And we'll take it from there and be back to you on how we get it done. Okay, we think we got this fixed. We have different connectors up in here, some L connectors, and we're going to see if everything screws in now. This will be, nothing's tight. We're just going to get things lined up, make sure it works. So I'm going to take this back out. Because we're going to have to put these in. It's going to be kind of Frankenstein, but like I said, we're not, until we know it's going to work, we're not going to tighten everything up. So. Okay, if you can see, we've got everything hooked up in there. Now nothing is bolted down tight. And the hose is not on the back of this here, but it's kind of Frankenstein, but it works. We can either put it on like that, which the hood will close, or we can take this one and actually we can bring it up the other way, because this has all got to come out before we can take the tanks out. So let's see, we'll take this off. This would hang down on this here, and we'll let's hook that up, make sure that fits in the angle we want. So anyway, that would hang down like that, and we can pull both these tanks out. The tanks are bolted down here, but they'll both come out. Once we got them back up in there, and what we do is kind of feed this one over. This one goes this way. Like I say, it's kind of Frankenstein, but put that in there. Okay, got that one in. Okay. That in, tighten that down. We can select our tank. We're ready to go. So finally, we've got this figured out. We've got it all hooked up. We have to tighten all the things up and make sure nothing leaks and all that now, but that's basically the way it's going to work. Both tanks are in. This can come out. The tanks can come out. Finally got it after ordering parts and getting weird stuff, and we finally found the right Frankenstein to get it working. So we're ready to start testing it. As soon as we leak check it, we'll test all the systems. We'll get back to you. Thanks for watching Down the Road We Go. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to subscribe and make sure you click the little bell so you get notified every time a new episode comes out. Thanks again for watching Down the Road We Go. Answer. Yeah. Okay, I'm at the camper, the little one. I'll be down there in a minute. Okay, bye. Bye. Okay, got interrupted by Shirley, so that makes the blooper reel.